Today we will be making a beautiful dress for an American Girl doll or an 18-inch doll. Everyone has one. Simple project, maybe 10-20 minutes max. This is a beautiful dress here. It requires one simple pattern piece. Out of 1/3 of a yard of fabric, approximately 12 inches of fabric, you can get 2 dresses. A piece of ribbon, 1 yard. Thread to match your dress. Some scissors and a pin to once you make your casing. So the first thing we do, hold our fabric out, lay our pattern down, and we'll cut 2 along the fold. Once we have those pieces cut out, we have 2 pieces that's looking like this, we go to the iron and we'll iron a flat seam right across here. Okay? Once we have that fold down, we'll also fold the arms. I'm going to move her out of the way for just one moment. And we will begin to stitch using the sewing machine. Okay, stitch 1. Once we have that stitched, it will look like this here. So we'll have 4 of those to stitch. We stitch each one of those. Once we have stitched that, the next thing we stitch is we turn down along the fold line, just like that, and we will stitch that to form our casing. And be sure to back tack when you're doing this. Back tack. And we'll remove this from the sewing machine. Okay. Once we have stitched both casings, the armholes, now we're ready to sew the side seams. We match it up at the top and the bottom along the armhole seams. And we're going to stitch straight up the side here. Okay, once we stitch one side, then we will stitch the other side. Okay. Beginning to look a lot like a dress. Now, the last thing we do is we got to put a hem in it. You can make your hem a deep hem, depending if you want to make it a much shorter or longer, depending on the size of the doll. We take it, and I like to turn a double hem. So I would take my iron 1/4 of an inch seam up, and then another 3/8 of a seam, okay? Then you put this under your sewing machine, and we begin to stitch. And I like to cut my threads as I go. Okay, so we'll turn that under. Stitch all the way around. Remove from the sewing machine. Cut your last threads loose. Okay, and then you have something that look pretty much like this. Okay. The next thing we do is we take our ribbon, 1 yard of ribbon, and we take our pin. Because remember, at the top when we fold it down, it formed a casing. Hook your pin in, run it, and then we push, holding the back of the pin, hold the front of the pin, and pull the fabric back. Hold the back of the pin, scoot, 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 and pull. And sometimes this happens, your pin comes loose. So I'm removing my pin, and I'm going to start all over. It's not the worst thing in the world. Again, you hold the back of the pin and you push. Hold the back of the pin and push. Of course, you could use a bodkin if you have a bodkin, but everybody has a safety pin. Then you come out of the one armhole and go back in, push from the back of the pin and pull. Push, and pull until it comes out of the other side. And I like to use a nice long ribbon so you don't have to worry about it coming out. Remove your pin. Now, especially if you're going to be giving it to a little girl to play with, you don't want this ribbon just to pull out. So what you may want to do is find the middle of the back of it and stitch right over that ribbon. And that'll prevent that from coming out. Remove all of your threads, cut all of your threads, okay? And guess what? It's finished already. You want to see how fantastic this looks on the doll? And don't worry if you cannot find, you can't remember all the directions, I'm going to give you a free copy of this pattern. So to get a free pattern, just visit www.patdoodles, PATDOODLES.com. Thank you. But also, I sell many patterns on Etsy, so feel free to visit Etsy. It's Padoodles is the name of the store. Push that on, other arm through, draw a string. And you notice on this doll, she has a little t-shirt on. One of my next tutorials will be show you how to make a very simple t-shirt for your American Girl doll. Tie it on the shoulder. And then I'm just going to snip this little piece of ribbon here. Gather the gathers evenly, distribute them evenly. Here's a little thread that I missed. Go back, cut that little thread there. And here she is looking just as adorable as the first one. There you go. So now we have twins. Both in their beautiful polka dot dress. And again, a free pattern can be found at www.padoodles.com, and you can just click on the link below and it'll take you directly to the pattern. Again, now wasn't that simple? So join me again, be watching for my latest video. Give me a week or two so I can make a pattern and all. I'll be offering many free patterns, as well as some patterns will be for sale, as well as finished clothes, just in case you didn't want to take your time to make it or some of the more complicated things. So again, thanks for watching my video, and you have a wonderful day.